Daniel looked at his original body, which was sleeping peacefully. He tried waking his original body by slapping him in the face. He woke up in his original body while his second body fell asleep. He tried waking his second body this time, and he woke up in his second body. He looked at his original body sleeping in front of him. He spent many days experimenting how this whole situation works, and found out 3 things. Firstly, the sleeping body won't wake up by itself no matter how long he waits. Secondly, if he forced the sleeping body to wake up, the other body automatically falls asleep. Thirdly, his consciousness was active 24/7. Daniel goes to school in his second body, and everyone was amazed by his looks. The scene shifts to Ji-ho Park, who was getting bullied by 3 bullies. The teacher entered the class and told everyone about a new transfer student. Daniel entered the classroom and introduced himself and sat down on his desk. He greeted the guy sitting beside him and then quickly recognized him as he was the one who beat him up on the streets. Zoe Park approached Daniel and started flirting with him while acting cute. Zach, the guy sitting beside Daniel, told Zoe to shut up and stop flirting since it was annoying. The scene shifts to cafeteria, where the 3 bullies told Daniel to meet them at the back to the school after lunch. When Daniel reached the place, the bullies offered Daniel some cigarettes, but he refused and told them that he have quit smoking so they don't look down on him. When Daniel returned to his classroom and sat on his desk, he fell asleep and woke up in his OG body. OG is short form of original. Luckily, Zoe woke Daniel up and he returned to his second body. The scene shifts. Daniel have gotten himself a cashier job, which he does in his OG body at night, since he now have to feed 2 bodies. The 3 bullies from the school entered the store and asked for cigarette, but when Daniel told them to show their IDs, they got angry at him. Zach stopped them and told them not to fight, but then he recognized OG Daniel as he have beaten him on the streets before. Zach then placed alcohol and cigarettes on the counters and told Daniel that he wouldn't pay. Daniel tried to convince him not to do this, and that made Zach angry and he punched Daniel. After that, Zach and the bullies left after beating him, and Daniel's mother called him asking how his school life in Seoul. The next day, Daniel goes to school, and again everyone admired his good looks. He entered the classroom and heard the bullies and Zach laughing and making fun of his OG body. The bullies even insulted his mom, and that made Daniel angry and he told them not to cross the line. Zach got angry as he felt like he was getting insulted in front of his crush Mira and challenged Daniel to a fight. Daniel stood up and thought that he is gonna get hit again. Jae-hong grabbed Zach's hand to stop him from hitting Daniel. Zach shook Jae's grip and threw a punch at Daniel. Daniel dodged the punch since he have started to see the attacks coming towards him long ago. But his OG body wasn't fast enough to dodge them. Zach threw a punch at Daniel again, and this time Daniel couldn't dodge. He grabbed his fist and stopped the punch. Everyone thought he was a real fighter, but in reality Daniel was very scared right now. He then remembers how these guys insulted him and his mother and punched him in the chest, just like he saw Logan Lee teach other bullies. The scene shifts to the restroom. The 3 bullies talked about how Zach is lost and that they should attack Daniel together. Jae-hong heard this and beat the 3 bullies in the bathroom. Every big shot in the school got knew about Daniel defeating Zach. Vin Jin said he is better looking than him. Eli Jang said, I don't care how strong he is, but if he is good looking I want to cut his hair. Bosco said if he is a bad guy I will teach him a lesson. The scene shifts. Daniel was doing his cashier work again, and he realized every customer was judging him by his looks. He looked at a beggar and even the beggar was showing him pity. When Daniel was doing push-ups in the store, a beautiful girl entered and she told him if she interrupted him she apologized for that. She then bought some cold drinks and gave one to Daniel saying, you can drink this. The scene shifts. Ji-ho Park was running since the bullies told him to go to the store where OG Daniel works and steal a charger. Ji-ho entered the store and grabbed a charger and tried to run, but he fell on the ground. Daniel showed him kindness and told him if he just runs away with the charger he would be in trouble. The bullies entered the store since Ji-ho was taking too long and took both Ji-ho and Daniel to an alleyway. The bullies told both of them to fight each other and whoever wins gets their nude photo deleted. Vaso was passing by from there and saw the bullies and stepped in, saving both Daniel and Ji-ho while the bullies ran away from fear. The next day in school, SB Daniel called out to Jiho in the cafeteria and told him to sit next to him so he can be friends with him. Daniel saw Vasco in the cafeteria and called out to him, but since he was in his second body, they have never talked, so Vasco asked for "we know each other." When Vasco saw Jiho with Daniel, he thought Daniel was bullying him and grabbed his shoulder. Surprisingly, Daniel grabbed his hand and shook him off. Everyone was shocked, because this shoulder grab had made everyone kneel, but Daniel just shook it off easily. Jace Park stepped in and stopped the fight because if Vasco has lost their crew, Burn Knuckles would have faced disgrace. The scene shifts, the three bullies and have Daniel Park in a get-together, and Daniel agreed, thinking it would be the first time he would have fun with friends. After school, Daniel reached the place and saw the three bullies with Zach and Zoe sitting together and drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes.